Hey, how's it going, guys? It's the Llamaster here, and welcome back to another Rocket League video. And in this one, guys, we are going to be going over 5 more facts, secrets, and Easter eggs that you probably never even knew in Rocket League. That's right, so this episode has a ton of unique ones that I never knew myself, so I definitely think that you guys will learn something new from this video. But anyways, before we get into it, I have a very cool thing to show you, and that is the sponsor of this video, GamerLink. So to put it simply, this is a free app that lets you find other players to play with in Rocket League. It also works with a bunch of other games, but let's be completely honest, we really only play Rocket League here. But anyways, with this app, there's one of 2 ways to find players once you've signed up. The first is simply looking through the beacon list, which is a bunch of requests from other players and what type of player they are looking to find. However, you can also create your own beacon and then choose a bunch of custom tags such as the general rank of players you're looking for, what type of playstyle they use, and even if you want to record for YouTube and stuff like that. So overall, if you're tired of playing the nightmare that is solo standard, I would definitely give this app a try, and I will leave a link down below in the description that brings you straight to a place to download it. And also, when you sign up, be sure to check that little box that says the Llamaster sent you. But anyways, guys, enough time talking here, and let's get into it with the first fact on the list. Alright guys, so for the first fact slash secret, whatever you want to call this one, this is actually a very interesting one that has to do with a certain decal on the Venom. So recently, there's been this sort of thing going around with this discount mystery decal called the Fade, which is honestly just a joke. You pretty much just mess around with the kilowatt decal until you get the colors to sort of fade together. But this certain decal on the Venom is actually created to have this very unique effect that I am pretty sure you can only find on this car alone. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the menu here so I can show you exactly what decal I'm talking about. But basically, you just want to go into the garage and of course select the Venom. I mean, we might need that to get this certain decal. But either way, once you have the Venom equipped, simply go over to the decals list and select the one that says stripes. Now, when you choose this one, you can probably already see that this decal has 3 colors. That's right, guys. As far as I know, and you can correct me on this if I'm wrong, this is the only decal in the game that can get you 3 colors. So basically, to explain this to you guys, the 2 colors you select, the base coat and of course the details coat, those combine to form this sort of secondary color underneath. So as you can see, if I choose these 2 colors right here, it adds this really weird one in the middle. Now, of course, you guys can mess around with this on your own. It's kind of hard to come up with a good color combination. They all honestly look pretty weird, but overall, it's definitely a very unique trait for a car that not too many people use. As for the next fact on this list, this one is a very unique one because it has to do with a certain mystery decal, and the name of which might not actually be a correct name for it. So yeah, but anyways, the decal that I am talking about, and we actually featured this decal in the last episode of 5 Facts, this one is called Parallax. Yep, that certain decal that is honestly one of the best ones out there. This decal honestly has a ton of little secrets to it. Now, I'm not going to spoil the one that I talked about last week. You're going to have to go back and watch that episode if you missed it, but instead today we are going to be looking at the name Parallax and what exactly it means. Now, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, but I'm pretty sure most of you probably have no idea what parallax means, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. I myself had 0 clue what it meant before making this video, so that is why I did what every freaking high quality researcher does. I went straight to Google and looked it up. Yeah, but anyways, I went straight to Wikipedia, and it's actually a very interesting definition. So it's a little hard at first to understand, but I'm going to try to explain it to you here as well as I can. So the word parallax is defined as a displacement or difference in the apparent position of an object viewed along 2 different lines of sight and is measured by the angle or semi-angle of inclination between those 2 lines. So yeah, I know that probably seems confusing at first, but let me show you a simple example of parallax, and this is an effect that is actually used in a lot of 2D scrolling games. So as you can see here, we have this sort of skyline, and basically within this video we would be moving to the right, so the skyline is moving to the left. Now, the different depths of these buildings and how they sort of changed positions in relation to each other, that is the effect of parallax. So if we know that that is indeed parallax, and we then go back into Rocket League and look at the decal here, it's not really the same effect. In fact, I'm pretty sure that this has nothing really to do with parallax. I mean, you could kind of make an argument here that the squares that are standing still and the ones moving kind of resemble parallax, but overall, it doesn't give that effect like we saw in the previous example. But overall, it definitely doesn't matter. This decal is by far one of the coolest ones out there, and I will continue to use it for a very long time. Moving on to the third fact of this episode, this one is actually an Easter egg that my friend Speedo Blowout or Caleb discovered while we were playing together. Now this Easter egg is actually found on the map Neo Tokyo, and it has to do with yet another secret, that is the secret antenna called the Moai. Now if you don't know how to get the Moai, I'm gonna explain it to you here, and this is kind of like a bonus secret if you don't know about it, but pretty much to get this antenna, all you have to do is load up a game of Rocket League, and before you press any button to go straight into the menu, you want to input the Konami code. Now the Konami code, and this is first on Xbox, it simply goes as up, up, down, down, left, right, BA. Now if you're on PC, instead of putting in BA, you're going to want to type in OX, and if you're then on PS4, you instead want to press the buttons X and O. However, once you do that, it changes the background and the title to the Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Powered Battle Cars theme, and overall, it's definitely very cool. Now, if this is the first time that you put in this Easter egg, you can go into your garage and find this secret antenna called the Moai. Now, at this moment, I'm not quite sure why you get a Moai. I'm gonna have to do some more research and come back to you guys with that one, but it's still a very interesting antenna. However, it gets a ton more interesting here, because if we go into the map Neo Tokyo and happen to look right up here, as you can see, that is the exact Moai that we just unlocked as an antenna. So yeah, this one is definitely way more impressive because it's freaking gigantic, but overall, it's definitely a very cool secret that we personally could not connect the dots on for a very long time, so I definitely think this one will be new to you guys. As for the second to last fact of this episode, this one has to do with probably one of, if not the best sort of classic Rocket League map that goes by the name of DFH Stadium. Now this map is honestly one of my favorites just because the way it looks and feels is just so amazing. Like this map just literally makes you feel like you're playing in this insane Rocket League event with the giant stands just packed full of those eggs. And then of course you just have them reacting to every shot. Just overall, it's a very, very impressive map. However, do you guys know what the initials DFH mean in the name DFH Stadium? Well, if you don't, I'm going to explain it to you here because it is a very cool little reference. But anyways, there's not a whole lot to it, but basically it's been confirmed by Psyonix that DFH stands for Dave Hagewood. Now also, I believe his middle name starts with an F, so that's where the F comes into play. But Dave Hagewood is probably the biggest name in Rocket League and at Psyonix because he is the very founder of Psyonix and also its current CEO. In fact, if you go into the credits here, he is the #1 name on the list that you can see right smack dab at the beginning. So yeah, I definitely think he is a fitting person to name this stadium after, and it's overall a very interesting little secret. Getting into the final fact of this episode, this one has to do with probably the funniest, most pointless bug fix I have ever seen in a video game. I mean, I've talked a ton about how great Psyonix is about listening to the community and then fixing and changing things based on what the community wants, but this little fact/secret thing is just a perfect over-the-top example of this. But anyways, to give you a little backstory about this bug, it basically happened about 10 or so months ago. That was around when it got fixed, but it had to do with the double rainbows that appear on Beckwith Park. So with Beckwith Park, we've already talked about how cool of a map it is just because it's like the training map. Now if you go onto this map currently and look at the rainbows, there's nothing that appears wrong with them. However, again, about 10 months ago, the colors within these rainbows both went the same way. Now for most people, you probably think that that's perfectly normal. However, in real life, double rainbows actually have their colors reversed with the outer ring. This simply has to do with the light reflecting within water droplets and stuff like that, but most people just don't think that. It doesn't come as common sense. So in Beckwith Park before the patch, they had these rainbows in the same order. Now, thanks to a certain Reddit post that got a ton of upvotes for pointing this out, Psyonix actually responded to it and then went into the game and reversed the rainbow completely so that it's no longer scientifically incorrect. And that's not even the funniest part. They even went into the thumbnail of this map and changed it there as well. Like, that seems like such a hilarious and pointless little change that most people would never ever notice. So because of that, it has to be one of the funniest facts in Rocket League, and definitely one that I thought you guys would enjoy. But anyways, that's going to be it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to leave a like down below. It only takes a second and it helps me out a ton. And also, if you have a fact, secret, or Easter egg that you think I probably don't know, be sure to leave it down below in the comments, because you might just get featured in the next episode. But other than that, guys, again, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm the Llamacer, and I will see you guys next time.